While the price of oil has been under pressure, what's been happening?
It seems that, at least for now, the normal laws of supply and demand have been suspended in the market for crude oil. Normally when prices fall, you see less of a supply because it's less attractive for producers. But we've seen world supply continue to increase, which keeps the price under a great deal of pressure. In addition, inventories of crude oil have built to a 30-year high in the United States, meaning that we're unlikely to see relief anytime soon.
Why are producers continuing to pump with prices so low?
Producers, unfortunately, are locked into an acute need for cash flow. Here in the United States, many producers borrowed significantly to keep up their operations and to continue looking for new oil. They need to keep up the debt service to avoid defaulting and losing all of their equipment and their land rights, and so they continue to pump to keep the banks and investors happy, even though they aren't making a great deal of money on their production. And overseas, you have producers that need the cash flow to provide benefits to their citizens and in some cases to defend themselves against armed aggression. And so when you add all of that up, there really isn't an easy way to constrain supply.
Low energy prices should be a boon to consumers. Are we seeing a positive aspect there?
One of the biggest errors that professional forecasters made in 2015 was assuming that the fall in gasoline prices would produce a boost in economic activity. There were those who thought that it would add almost 0.5% to the rate of economic growth last year, but we've seen precious little of it. At first, it seemed that motorists were not assuming that gas would remain as cheap, and so they were very cautious about changing their other spending habits. But it's also been true that people seem to be saving a little bit more money, taking the dividend, if you will, of lower gasoline prices and putting it into the bank, perhaps as a belated realization that they're not very well prepared for retirement.
What are some of the less pleasant aspects of cheap oil?
If oil remains cheap, it will have consequences here at home and also globally. Here at home, we've already seen a marked reduction in the demand for energy equipment and services to explore for new oil. It's been among the things that's held back economic growth here in the United States. We've also seen some pressure in the high-yield debt market, the proceeds of which have gone, in some cases, to finance new energy enterprises. And globally, the pressure on countries who aren't earning enough to sustain the benefits that they want to supply to their citizens or to protect themselves is creating the potential for additional uncertainty in the international arena.